The morning sun spills across downtown Los Angeles like molten gold, bathing the America's Got Talent theater in warm light that glitters off banners, camera cranes, and the excited crowd gathering outside. Amid the chaos, parents coaching children, dancers stretching on the sidewalk, magicians practicing card tricks, stands a petite Filipina woman clutching a worn travel bag to her chest. Althea Cruz, dressed in a simple white blouse and black jeans, looks almost invisible compared to the colorful energy around her. But her eyes, deep with purpose, reveal a storm of emotions swirling inside. For years, she performed in tiny cafes, seaside bars, and small-town fiestas in the Philippines, saving every peso she could to chase a dream people told her was too big. Now she is finally here, on the other side of the world, standing before the stage she watched countless times on TV while whispering, "Someday." Her heart pounds loudly under her ribs, each beat reminding her of the magnitude of this moment. She wipes her sweaty palms against her jeans and forces steady breaths. The air smells of popcorn, perfume, and the unmistakable scent of possibility. As she approaches the registration desk, a producer smiles and asks, "What are you performing today?" Althea hesitates, then replies softly, "A song, but with two voices." The producer raises an eyebrow, confused but intrigued. Althea lowers her gaze, knowing that explaining it wouldn't do justice, the world simply has to hear it. As she receives her contestant badge, she clutches it like a lifeline. Every step she takes toward the backstage entrance feels heavy yet hopeful, like walking toward destiny. She whispers a quick prayer under her breath. Today, one woman with two extraordinary voices will step into the spotlight, and nothing will ever be the same. The backstage area of America's Got Talent pulses with a chaotic, electric energy that instantly wraps itself around Althea like a storm. Contestants of every type crowd the space, dancers leaping into last-minute stretches, opera singers warming up with thunderous vibrato, comedians pacing while whispering punchlines to themselves. The mix of nerves and ambition fills the air like static. Althea tries to make herself small as she finds an empty folding chair in a corner. She lowers her bag onto her lap and grips her necklace, the tiny silver cross that has traveled with her since childhood. Her fingers tremble slightly. It's not stage fright, she's faced countless audiences back home, it's the weight of finally standing in the place she's dreamed of for half her life. A teenage girl beside her, holding a glitter-covered microphone, notices her unease. "First time?" she asks, smiling nervously. Althea gives a soft laugh. "First time on a stage this big." "You'll be amazing," the girl says, though she herself looks seconds away from fainting. Crew members scurry around with clipboards and headsets, calling out contestant numbers. Overhead, muffled roars of the audience spill from the stage every time an act finishes. Each cheer makes Althea's pulse quicken. A stage runner approaches her. "Althea Cruz?" She stands abruptly. "Why yes. You're on in 5. Follow me." Her knees threaten to buckle. This is it. As she walks through the maze of cables, curtains, and glowing monitor screens, the air around her seems to narrow into a tunnel. Every sound, clapping, shouting, laughing, fades until she hears only her heartbeat. She breathes deeply, whispering, "For my family, for everything I sacrificed." With one final inhale, she steps closer to the stage entrance. Beyond that curtain, destiny waits. The moment Althea reaches the edge of the curtain, a blast of bright white stage light hits her like a wave. She squints, momentarily frozen by the sheer size of the auditorium. Thousands of faces stretch upward in the dark, illuminated only by the glow of the massive AGT logo pulsing on the screen behind the judges. Her breath catches, this is far beyond any crowd she has ever faced. A stagehand gives her a gentle nudge. "Go ahead. This is your moment." Althea steps forward, and the crowd responds with polite applause, the kind they give contestants who appear timid or uncertain. Her simple outfit contrasts sharply with the dazzling costumes of previous performers, but her quiet presence carries something else, a mysterious gravity. She walks to the center X marked on the stage floor, hands clasped tightly to stop them from shaking. Simon Cowell leans forward, studying her. "Hello," he says, his voice carrying effortlessly across the hall. "Hello," Althea replies, her accent soft but clear. "What's your name?" "Althea Cruz, from the Philippines." Sofia Vergara's face brightens. "Welcome. What will you do for us today?" Althea swallows. "I will sing. But also, something different." Simon raises a skeptical eyebrow. "Something different?" "Yes," she answers shyly, two voices. A few audience members laugh softly, thinking she means harmonies or a vocal trick. But Simon's expression sharpens, curiosity mixing with challenge. "All right then," he says, tapping his pen. "Show us." The lights dim to a deep violet, and Althea's heart thunders as the first notes of her instrumental track begin to play. She closes her eyes, grounding herself in the sound, reminding herself why she came here. When she lifts her head, the theater holds its breath. One woman. One stage. One chance. The soft instrumental swells gently through the auditorium, wrapping the space in an almost dreamlike calm. Althea inhales deeply, then parts her lips as the first note escapes, pure, crystalline, and unexpectedly angelic. Her voice floats through the air like a ribbon of light, delicate yet controlled, instantly silencing the audience. A murmur of surprise sweeps across the room. No one expected such a shy, soft-spoken woman to unleash a tone so effortlessly beautiful. Her voice carries shades of classical training mixed with raw emotional vulnerability. She sings with the kind of purity found in cathedral choirs, smooth vibrato, precise diction, and a warmth that feels almost spiritual. Each note blooms with intention, each breath carefully measured. The melody rises, and she follows it with unwavering control, her voice shimmering through high notes that seem to touch the rafters. Sofia leans forward, eyes widening. Heidi rests her chin on her hand, fully drawn in. Even Simon's stern expression softens, he nods slowly, recognizing genuine talent. The audience, once restless with anticipation, now sits still, captivated by the unexpected elegance in her sound. But beneath the serene performance, Althea's legs tremble. She knows this is only the beginning. What she is giving them now is the safe part, the version of herself people are used to hearing. The real challenge lies in what comes next, the moment she shifts into the second voice, the voice that has stunned friends and strangers back home. As the music transitions, darker chords rumble beneath the melody, hinting at something about to change. Althea grips the microphone tighter. Her eyes close as she prepares to cross a musical threshold few dare to attempt. One breath. One pivot. One impossible transformation. The stage waits, unaware that everything is about to flip upside down. As the music shifts into deeper, heavier tones, the air inside the theater thickens with anticipation. Althea lowers her head slightly, her hair casting a shadow over her eyes. The audience leans in, expecting another high note, perhaps a dramatic belt. Nobody, even the judges, has any idea what is about to erupt from her. Then, she lifts her head. The expression on her face changes, still soft, but sharpened with boldness. She opens her mouth, and what pours out is a sound so shocking, so impossibly different from her first voice, that the entire auditorium jolts in disbelief. A deep, resonant male voice, rich, booming, and powerful, vibrates through the theater. Gasps explode across the audience. A woman in the front row covers her mouth. A man stands up instinctively, shaking his head as if trying to understand what he just heard. The contrast is unreal. Moments ago she sounded like a delicate soprano, now she channels the commanding growl of a full-grown male vocalist with the strength of a rock singer. Simon's eyebrows shoot upward. He sits forward so fast his chair squeaks. "No way," he whispers, stunned. But Althea doesn't stop. She transitions flawlessly from chesty, thunderous low notes to sharp, gritty male high notes, displaying a vocal dexterity that defies explanation. The shift between her female and male voices is seamless, no comedic exaggeration, no artificial distortion. It sounds like two entirely different people sharing a single body. Heidi clutches her heart. That can't be real. Sophia mutters in disbelief. Althea, now fully immersed in the performance, moves with confidence. Every time she slips into the masculine voice, she commands the space like a second persona awakening inside her. The audience, once confused, now erupts into cheers that shake the rafters. The stage lights flare. One woman. Two impossible voices. And the world is officially stunned. The music surges toward its final movement, a powerful blend of orchestral strings and electronic pulses that fills the massive AGT theater with tremors of anticipation. Standing at the center of the stage, Althea feels her heartbeats sync with the rhythm, steady, unstoppable, ready. She knows the climax requires every ounce of control, every hour of practice, every sacrifice she made to come here. She closes her eyes for a split second. When she opens them, she unleashes a daring feat that no one in the audience could possibly prepare for. She sings both voices in rapid alternation, the angelic female soprano soaring upward while the deep male voice punches through the air with thunderous power. Her transitions are so quick, so impossibly precise, that people stare in awe, unsure where one voice ends and the other begins. It feels like a duet between two souls trapped within one performer. The lights flare in gold and crimson, pulsing with each switch of her voice. The audience is no longer seated, they rise as one, screaming and cheering, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they are witnessing. Even the camera operators struggle to follow her, swinging wildly to capture every expression and every note. As the climax approaches, Althea pushes harder. She belts a soaring female high note, clear, shining, fearless, then immediately drops into a male growl so raw it rattles the theater. The duality, the balance, the emotional power, it's a moment that feels like history being carved into the stage floor. Sweat glistens on her forehead, but her voice never wavers. She pours every part of herself, both voices, both identities, into the final line. Then she hits it. A colossal, spine-tingling final note, the female belt layered with a bold male undertone, the two voices merging into one magnificent explosion of sound. The music stops. The world erupts. When the final note fades into silence, the entire theater seems suspended in time. For a full second, nobody moves. Nobody breathes. It's as if every person in the room is frozen, still trying to comprehend what they just witnessed. Althea stands on stage, chest rising and falling rapidly, her hands shaking from adrenaline. She scans the crowd and sees mouths open, eyes wide, people clutching their friends' arms. The silence is louder than applause. Then, all at once, the room explodes. The audience leaps to their feet, screaming, cheering, waving their hands in the air. The noise hits like a tidal wave. Some people shout, "What?" while others cry from sheer disbelief. A father in the second row lifts his daughter so she can clap above the crowd. A group of teenagers jump up and down as if they've just witnessed a miracle. Heidi is the first judge to react. She stands with both hands over her heart, her eyes glossy, her jaw still dropped. That was unbelievable," she whispers, almost breathless. Sophia shakes her head in shock, laughing in pure amazement. "You have two people living in your throat. How is that possible?" Howie claps wildly. "This is why we love this show. You just changed the game." But everyone's eyes shift to Simon. Simon Cowell sits still, elbows on the desk, studying Althea with an expression no one can read. His face is stunned yet deeply impressed, like he's witnessing something rare, something historic. Slowly, he rises to his feet. The crowd roars even louder. Finally, he speaks, his voice low but filled with awe. "Althea, in all the years I've been judging, I have never heard anything like what you just did. That wasn't just talent, that was beyond extraordinary." Althea's eyes well with tears. And the night is far from over. The thunderous applause continues to shake the theater, rolling over Althea like a warm, overwhelming tide. She presses a trembling hand to her chest, trying to steady her breath. She can barely believe the sound she's hearing, thousands of people cheering for her, a woman who once sang to half-empty bars and small-town fiestas. The lights above shimmer like stars, illuminating the confetti cannons that wait silently in the wings. Sophia leans forward, still laughing in disbelief. "Two voices. Two. I still don't understand how you did that." Heidi nods with excitement. "You are a phenomenon. A one-of-a-kind talent." Howie points directly at Althea. "This is what greatness looks like. This is what surprise feels like." But once again, the room quiets as everyone turns their attention to Simon. Simon stands, resting both hands on the judge's table as he considers his words. He tilts his head, studying Althea not with skepticism now, but with deep respect. "You came out here shy, nervous, almost disappearing into the background," he begins, pausing as the crowd listens intently. "And then you delivered one of the most astonishing performances we have ever had on this show. Truly groundbreaking." Althea's vision blurs with tears. Her throat tightens. "And I think," Simon continues, "there's only one way to respond to something that exceptional." He steps away from his seat. He reaches out his hand. And he slams the golden buzzer. In a split second, the entire theater erupts. Golden confetti blasts from the ceiling, swirling around Althea like a glittering storm. She gasps, covering her face as tears fall freely. Her knees buckle, and she sinks to the floor, overwhelmed. Simon walks onto the stage, offering his hand. "You are going straight to the live shows," he says softly. Althea nods, crying, laughing, unable to speak. Her dream, once impossible, has just come true in a rain of gold.